Hello everyone, it's Shen. So this video I'm going to talk about the culture shock difference between China and America, part 4. Actually I have the other 3 videos talking about different topics, which is down below. You can check into my blog. They're also very interesting topics. So this one in particular will talk about hospital, doctor, nurses, and health insurance system between China and America. Actually, 2 days ago, my husband just did a surgery to remove his gallstone. And 2 weeks ago, he got a very sharp pain over here, and I rushed him to the ER room, and then made an appointment to the regular doctor, and then also make another appointment for the surgery, everything. So I was there taking care of him, talking with doctors and nurses. And also feel difference about those systems. That's the reason why I want to make this video about the difference. Well, number one, I'm really impressed that is the hospital here in America. It doesn't look like a hospital that crowded. It doesn't smell like a hospital. I mean, in China, you can smell the thing. You can really see a lot of people so crowded, so packed in every single hospital in China. I'll tell you why, the difference and the reason. Secondly, you feel really been taken care. You feel doctors, nurses are trying to take responsibilities to take care of you. They are truly explaining to you every single detail about what happened, what they are going to do with you, the whole procedure, and what happened after they've done the surgery. So you just feel really secure for that reason. And you know what happened in every single detail. Number 3, so computerized. You don't see any paperwork to do in the hospital. You show your ID, give them your insurance system, the information, and every single bill, every single agreement you need to sign, you all need to sign through that computerized digital screen, right? And also number 4, I'm really impressed about how they keep record to check about you. The doctor in that hospital, the network thing, really impressed about that. For instance, like in the ER room, the receptionist found my husband had been in that hospital before. So they check about what happened, what time was that first time he was there. Actually, he was born there 37 years ago. So you could imagine about that this time was really the second time he was there. And you could see that the record could track back to 37 years ago. So that was something really impressed. And they've been really recording down about which doctor you've seen. So by that reason, you also feel very secure about everything in the hospital and doctors, everything. You also can research about the doctor background, everything details. So those are major differences I feel. And also besides it, of course, the insurance system, I feel is so practical, easier, simple, and convenient for the patient to deal with. We give the information to the hospital. They are going to contact with the insurance company, and then the insurance company will mail you the leftover bill you're supposed to pay. But in China, it's like everything you have to pay ahead, no matter you have insurance or not. And then at the end of the year, you're going to declare it. Then you will realize about how much will be refunded or not. So those are truly the major difference. Well, let me explain something about what happened in China. Number 1, China, it is the country with the biggest population. Number 2, because the imbalanced difference development between big major cities and remote area, villages, smaller cities, smaller towns, the hospitals quite different. They don't have very good technique, a very good doctor. So a lot of people from remote area, if they get any problem, serious issue, they will take train or flight all the way to big cities, look for better treatment, look for better hospital and doctors. And that's the reason why every single major hospital in big cities, they all packed, so crowded. The people are from everywhere. Make another sample, like my mom got a heart problem. So every single year, once or twice, I have to take her to see the doctor to make sure everything's alright. And if I want her to see a good professor or a good doctor, I had to wake up and really run to the hospital before 5 a.m. Even when I arrived at hospital 5 a.m., I could see hundreds of people ahead of me already standing in line, wait for the reception to be open 7 o'clock a.m. every single morning. No way in China you can make an appointment with a doctor. There's no way. You have to go to a hospital very, very early, and you can see people truly spend overnight there, try to get the ticket from the receptionist every single morning. It's just like a long line outside of the Apple store. People are waiting for the new iPhone to be released. Every single day like that. And then when you get the ticket from the receptionist at early morning, 7 o'clock, something like that, you still don't know what time you can see the doctor for the rest of the day. Again, my mom and I must be waiting outside of the doctor's office for another couple of hours because, just one by one, take turn. And truly, spend a whole entire day in the hospital. Very frustrating and very tiring, exhausting thing. So you can imagine if a patient in a great pain, what would happen? Sorry, again, like that. Another example, earlier this year, my mom didn't feel good. So she wanted to see the doctor, and doctor say you better carry that device, the monitor, for 24 hours. And after we pay for the bill, we try to make an appointment for the monitor. You know what the doctor told her? He said, "Oh, if you want to get that device, you need to wait for another 2 months." So you can imagine how crowded, how many people come to see the doctor, to that hospital. Well, there's just no way like that. That's also the reason why I always say if you want to see a doctor or in a hospital in China, you have to go there not by yourself, but accompanied with some of your friend or family member. Because you need to run back and forth to pay for the bill first, and then you got treatment from the nurses or from the doctor or pay for the the medicine thing. So you have to run back and forth like that. You have to got another person help you out, especially if you are in great pain. And also another thing I want to share with you guys, my mom, my aunt, my grandma, they all used to have the problem with the gallstone. And they all did surgery in 1980s and 1990s. Well, I have to say, for the technique, machine, doctor, been truly improved and modernized a lot compared with 20 years ago in China. For example, like this gallstone problem with my grandma in 1980s. Back in 1980s, most hospitals in China, they didn't have any good scan machine, what do you call it, a CAT scan machine or whatever, the ultrasound machine, they didn't have it. So how could they diagnose? My grandma, she got a gallstone. The doctor asked her to eat a very greasy fried egg. And she ended up into great pain right after she ate the egg. Then they diagnosed she got gallstone. And then made a surgery, cut half of the tummy here. She spent more than half a year to recover from that surgery. In 1990s, they already got the technique like today, like in America, they got tubes, just drilled 4 holes on your tummy, something like that. My mom at that time, she did a surgery in 1990s, exactly the same like that. She spent just a couple days and recovered. But she got excessive stomach acid, so after she did surgery, she vomited about a couple hours. Same thing for my husband, but they gave him some pill for nausea, so he didn't really got nausea, vomit that much. But anyway, my mom recovered just within a week and then just went back to work. That happened in 1990s. So you can see it's really a big improvement, a big changes, I have to say. For insurance system, I have to say, depends on what kinds of company you work for. Different company, different system, and different coverage. People from remote area or, for instance, like those peasants, farmers, are people who are working for themselves, doing their own personal business. They have to take care of themselves. There's no insurance to really take care of them to cover anything like that. No way. For instance, like the travel agency I used to work for, the first year, every single year, the first bill below $350 equals about 2,000 yuan. That is 100% on my own. After that $350, 60% of it will be paid out by the insurance company. My mom's company, better than my travel agency, about 80 to 100% will be covered. So again, everything you need to pay ahead, no matter you have insurance or not. At the end of the year, you're going to declare it to your own insurance company. Then at that moment, you know how much been covered, how much not. It's just like this. So I have to say, really complicated, not really simple. not easy to the patient. This is something about the insurance system. If you don't have, everything will be on your own. So this is about the insurance system and how the Chinese people go to see a doctor here in China. And also I want to share something about my own experience. Another experience actually last year, I pregnant and then my company fired me because of that. I know in America no company could do that, but in China it's like that. No human rights will be really 100% promised anyway. After I've been fired and just a few days later I got some symptom. I got some blood and actually later on I miscarried my baby. And then I was running to the hospital to check everything. And also because I didn't know I was pregnant until 40 days. I checked it, I realized it. And because in midsummer I was taking care of my group and I feel really dizzy and nauseous. I took some pills actually, some Chinese medicine because I thought I got heat stroke or something like that. So I talked with the doctor and checked about whether those medicine will be really harm to my baby, something like that. Because of some problem with China today, system in China, people are not really responsible for everything. People are really feared of taking responsibilities. So you know what the doctor told me? The doctor said, nobody can give you 100% promise about whether that will harm to the baby or not. Baby could have a problem. You could miscarry later. And also, after a baby been labor, nobody also promised about what happened to the baby. It could be later, 20 years later, your baby got this problem or cancer or whatever. Could also cause because you took that medicine. I was totally freaking out. You could imagine that moment. I want my baby to be safe, to be healthy, right? So the doctor just tried to avoid all of the responsibilities. Didn't give me a good answer at all. And then I was so freaking out. Then my husband also freaking out. Then we made a phone call to the doctor in America, talk through Skype. Then the doctor asked me something like my check, some number. Sorry, I forgot the English name, how to call it. Then the doctor got the check number and said, okay, you need to relax because the number is so low. Because the number is so low, so that means your blood cell cannot really carry that medicine into your baby because it's so low, so it's impossible. Take it easy, you'll be alright. You just feel really secure and I feel much better actually. At that moment, I appreciate so much about the doctor explaining to me about why everything, not really freaking me out. And then, unfortunately, a few days later, I got blood coming out and I was freaking out again. And then I was in a major hospital in China. Well, in the ER room, the doctor was not there. Then the nurse said, sorry, you have to run to the third floor to look for the doctor. She was there. She is there. And then I ran to the third floor. Found there's a doctor. The doctor asked me why you're here, so I explained to what happened. You know what the doctor said and what the doctor did first? She brought out like a notebook herself. Like I think it's something like what you're going to do after something, like a doctor instruction. I totally freaking out when I look at that. You know what I mean? And then she said, all right, try to, you have this symptom, but there could be some reason to cause it. All right, number 1, number 2, number 3. And then you need to do this kind of scan. But, I read before, like that kind of scan, doctor will not suggest you to do it for the first 3 months pregnancy or the radiation, I remember I was reading, not good to the baby. So I asked her, I said, you're not supposed to do that scan when you're pregnant for the first 40 days, right? You know what she said? You're right. But we don't have that machine. So, sorry, we cannot do it for you. You need to go to another hospital. I was totally pissed off and totally freaking out because the doctor just, at that moment, they try to push you out from that hospital. My husband said, and then, lucky thing I got a cousin. She's working for a private hospital in China. We have private hospital, but that means those hospitals expensive, 100% on your own. No insurance will cover that. Anyway, I was there. Talking with that private hospital doctor. She's also very nice and very kind and sitting down talking with me about what happened and also do some check. and then the second day actually I miscarried. So anyway, in that private hospital, my husband told me this is feel like a hospital. This is really look like a hospital in America. So you just can tell this is the great difference, and this is really a disaster experience to me even. Anyway, also want to share with you about my husband as a foreigner in Chinese hospital. I remember one time when he was in the hospital, well, because a lot of people from remote area in China, they've never ever seen foreigners before in their lifetime. Maybe just saw foreigners from TV, from news, not really in person. So you can imagine my husband was sort of in pain. At the same time, there are so many people on a pier and look at him and follow up, try to look at there's a foreigner in the hospital, something like that. He was really, really freaking out because of that. And actually, in my group, because I used to work as an English tour guide in China for 10 years, I took my customers sometime to the hospital whenever there's emergency happen. They usually will take us to another separate department, particularly to those foreign people. So less crowded, but of course more expensive. So that's also the reason why I actually make another video talking about those things. Whomever you are traveling to China, you need to prepare, especially about insurance, but medicine thing you need to pack with you. That's also a very good video. If you want to check it down below into my blog, you can check it. Very detailed information. So I always also take them to those private hospitals or those departments, particularly to foreigners. The doctors are much more, careful and also responsible to you guys. And also, most of them can speak English. If they cannot speak English, they also have like a dictionary. They'll, check for you guys, and then to make sure everything happens, you understand what they are going to do with you. So if any of you travel to China, I still suggest you to get this travel insurance. So nobody knows what will happen, right? Something could happen like this or that. You want to be safe in another country, right? So this is something about the difference I feel between China and America about hospital, doctors and nurses, insurance system. I hope you enjoyed this video. So again, give me a thumbs up for this video and check my blog below. I have more videos talking about everything. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.